Welcome to the Nothing Gold Can Stay poem analysis. This short video should help you better understand this short but very important poem that is recited in chapter 5. First of all, Nothing Gold Can Stay was first published in 1923 by the famous poet Robert Frost. Nature's first green is gold. Her hardest hue to hold, her early leaves a flower, but only so an hour. Then leaf subsides to leaf, so Eden sank to grief. So dawn goes down to day, nothing gold can stay. This poem follows an AA-BB rhyming couplet scheme, which means that gold and hold, that's your AA rhyme. Flower, hour, that's your BB line rhyme or lines rhyme. Leaf, grief, your AA rhyme. And finally, day and stay all rhyme. So it's a very similar pattern throughout the poem. This poem is actually quite short. It's only 8 lines. Nonetheless, it's quite complex and deals very nicely with the themes examined in The Outsiders. To understand the meaning of this poem, you first have to understand some of the vocabulary, which will then make the metaphors and the use of personification more clear. There are 5 key words on the screen that should help you gain a better understanding of this poem. The first being hue, which refers to color. Subsides means to sink. Dawn is just before sunset, and day in this case refers to just after sunrise. Lastly, you have a reference to Eden, which we touched on briefly at the start of the year when we looked at Paradise Lost. Eden refers to the Garden Eden, involving Adam and Eve. The first metaphor that author Robert Frost uses in this poem is the comparison between nature's first green and gold. Now you need to ask yourself, in what season does nature's firsts occur? What adjectives can we give this period of newness? Then you need to ask yourself, why would he choose to compare nature's first green to gold? Gold being one of the most precious metals. Now, nature's first green is actually talking about a leaf. Robert Frost goes on to use personification and gives human qualities to this innate object. The human qualities is holding. Nature's first green is gold, but its color is hard to hold. He then goes on to talk about the flower. The beauty of a flower only lasts for an hour. So you need to ask yourself, why does this color only last for an hour? Think about the seasons. What happens in the fall? Why is nature's beauty hard to hold? What eventually happens over time? The next line in the poem says, then leaf subsides to leaf. Eventually in the fall, leaves change colors and they eventually fall or sink to the ground. Then we have the Eden reference. So Eden sank to grief. Now I want you to think about what happened to Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Think about the allegory Paradise Lost. What sank away when they decided to eat the apple from the tree of knowledge of good and evil? The poem ends with the line, nothing gold can stay. Now think about the different metaphors, the different images, and the different uses of personification in this poem. What do all these elements have to do with growing up? Consider the new leaf, the springtime. What does that represent? Think about the fall when these beautiful leaves are now lying on the ground. Think about these different elements. I look forward to reading your analysis. Don't hesitate to use Edmodo to post a reply if you have any questions or any insightful comments. Good luck!